Beep 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 beep.
Squeaky diddly bitty bitty. Skit scat skiddly doo. Skit scat skiddly ding dong a doo.
That's terrible. Greetings, true believers, and welcome to another episode of Nullspace. I am Scott Null.
And I'm Harry.
You are Captain Nostalgia. With me is Captain Nostalgia.
No, I'm Harry.
Shut up.
And the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons, yes.
I am Harry. These are the Hendersons.
No.
I am pointing at my genitals.
I know you are. This week we got two more topics for you that we'll be talking about Jerry's favorite kind of movie.
Oh my goodness.
The video game tie-in movie.
Because all video game tie-in movies are fucking fabulous.
Okay. And we'll also be talking about the disappearance of cheats and how mods are taking over. So, Jerry, it's your topic. Go nuts.
It's my topic? Alright,
Movie tie-in, video game tie-in movies are utter shit. They have never been any good. There's not been one good movie inspired by a video game.
Sir, have you not seen Double Dragon?
Don't you dare claim that's a good movie. You say Double Dragon, I say Mortal Kombat. I say Super Mario Brothers. I say Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Doom.
Keep in mind, I own all of those movies.
They're shit.
Oh, sir. Sir, I know. All right, what people probably might not know that I love horrible, horrible movies. And with the video games, I collect these movies just because of being collected. It's like a history kind of thing. Like, look at this utter garbage that they're trying to pander to.
Can you think of one good movie that was inspired by a video game first?
Scott Pilgrim?
Scott Pilgrim was not inspired by a video game. It was inspired by a graphic novel.
Which, no, believe it or not, they were being built at the same time because there was the video game and there was the comic book that actually wasn't finished yet that was being filmed in the middle of it, and he was writing two different endings at the same time. And the comic and the video game was like being inspired by the comic and the movie at the same time. If you played, Scott Pilgrim.
Brian Lee O'Malley making actually he had his hands in all three of them.
Yeah, he did.
He was behind the graphic novel.
Which is awesome. By the way, if you haven't fucking read Scott Pilgrim, fucking read it.
It is pretty excellent. Scott Pilgrim, it's directed directly, its target audience is millennials.
Directed by Edgar Wright, one of my favorite directors. He is awesome as shit.
That's the movie, the movie is good. I'd say the graphic novel's better.
I love the movie. I read the graphic novel first, and I went to go see the movie. And I squealed and squeed when I saw the Universal logo.
The Universal logo done in the chiptune style
with all the Legend of Zelda references.
But this is back at the beginning of let's pixelate the shit out of stuff.
I thought it was just a love homage to the people who love video games. That's what I thought.
The art style of pixelating everything, going back to that 8-bit style, is kind of being overused now.
Oh yes, it very much is. And you know what? I'm sorry, Scott Pilgrim has never gotten any credit. I thought when I pre-ordered Scott Pilgrim on Blu-ray and I got the Ogre pack and whatnot, I went to Best Buy. I'm I fucking need this right now. And I went out there at 9 o'clock in the morning, right before Best Buy opened, and I see this huge line. I'm like,
you've gone through this on the show before, but keep going.
Have I?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Tell the story.
Okay. And then I was like, oh my God, there's a huge fucking line. I was like, everyone here's for Scott Pilgrim. They're like, we're not. What's Scott Pilgrim? I'm like, fuck you. Are you serious? What's today? It's the release of Call of Duty Black Ops. Like, really? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You're all here for Call of Duty? Yeah! I hate all of you. All of you. Who's here for Scott Pilgrim? I don't know what that is. Fuck!
I did see that. I saw that in theaters, and it was excellent. I was excited to see it beforehand. Everyone else was like, yeah, whatever. You sit down, and the Universal logo I was swinging at, but what really got me going was the first pan, the camera pans down, and it plays the Zelda Link to the Past
music
little intro melody, and I was done. It was just it was
a perfect intro.
It was a reference for me.
Yeah,
and it wasn't pandering to me. It was a reference for me. It was excellent. But that does not count. That is not a movie inspired by a video game. What we have to talk about that.
Okay, because I was going to go straight like it wasn't pandering to you, and it was. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of going to lead on to like I'm going to say Pixels.
Oof.
Because
Pixels, you say Pixels, I say Wreck-It Ralph.
I didn't like Wreck-It Ralph very much.
Because it wasn't...
Okay, I know my brother's going to probably listen to it. He said he liked Wreck-It Ralph, and I was totally like, it was okay. I just felt like there was not enough actual video game in a video game movie.
Yeah, it didn't hit upon... Like, you had the cute cameo scenes, but you didn't have... It didn't understand the audience, really, that was going to go see it. Yeah, it had the... I suppose it did understand the audience. It understood that the 30-somethings that grew up with Atari and their kids are going to go see it. But the Brian Lee O'Malley, Scott Pilgrim, it really hit the nail on the head with...
Because he was a fucking nerd actually writing for what he liked.
I suppose.
I mean, this is what he liked. He liked manga, he liked comics, and he did that, and he also liked video games. And like, was it... Clash at Demon Head, for Christ's sake.
It made some obscure-ass references.
Really? Clash at Demon Head was actually the first video game that he played on NES, if you actually, trivia calling shit like that. But, what is it?
Clash at Demon Head. Excellent title, by the way.
Yeah.
Remember when that came in the store?
I bought it.
Did you?
I did. I bought it.
Let me borrow it, because I'm going to play it.
It's fucking hard, though, man. But it's good. It's a solid, good game. We'll have to play it sometime. You want to do Let's Play on that?
Yeah, we'll do that. But back to like, Pixels. Pixels is...
I started watching that, and it made me feel like that was a pander. Because, okay, they've started the thing about, like, video game championships right in the beginning of the movie, and like, we're gonna fight, my score's better than yours. I'm like, well, these video game championships, they're not even acknowledging, like, the kill screens. Yeah. Like, for the people who actually follow this shit, and actually take this shit seriously, and love video games, they're just ignoring the fact that they exist.
It's because they didn't know anything about the topic they were writing about. They just thought, oh, that's a funny idea, And
we're like, well, it's like, well, I got the higher score, but you died. I'm like, no, if they're professionals, they're going to go to kill screens because they're just going to keep on going because they're not going to die.
Yeah.
And it actually depends on who has the higher score before the kill screen. That's what matters. And I'm like, well, if there's a fucking fuck you, this is like... It was a big fuck you. Like,
it was
you don't understand anything.
It was pandering, not referencing, because they took familiar icons, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong,
Q-Bert.
and they showed them. And they said, look, you recognize this, give me money. Whereas Scott Pilgrim's like, I'm going to show you stuff that you won't know, but you're going to go look up, and I'm going to show you the games I love, and I want you to love them too.
Yeah, well, even the fight scenes were obviously inspired by Street Fighter, like K.O. And you're like, oh, that's really kind of cool.
The Nega Scott and the
Nega
fact that
Scott.
It rains coins when they die. And
it
was just every inch of that movie was just packed with so many references, not self-referential material, but actual gaming references that anybody who played games and loves them as much as Brian Lee O'Malley would appreciate.
I know it was a love letter to people who love these things, like not just video games, but also like comics or whatnot like that. Like, because I don't know if you noticed, like, was wearing the X-Men patch, and that was also supposed to signify the possible thing that he was going to be an X, and like all these little kind of things that kind of tie into it. Like, it was just like a little like spider web woven really well.
The number 7 is iconic in games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just back to
that's right. We're talking about.
We're going to go back to the actual topic at hand. The movie. The video game tie-in movies, the absolute shit, because there's never been a good one.
There's really, the reason why I bring up Pixels, because video game tie-in movies are all out there, and now we're gonna have like Pixels is kind of like doomed, like the retro nostalgia like cinema, because Sony took a huge fucking like bloated up balls.
They took a bath in that one. They did.
Did they?
They took a hit.
Oh, I was like bath money. Like
no, they're not bathing in money.
Because they have huge bloated up balls with
wash.
Because if we're gonna see like any sort of like nostalgia or retro kind of thing for video games, it's not gonna fucking happen, because they're gonna look at Pixels, or even like nobody fucking wants to watch that.
Even it was a ripoff of Futurama.
That one episode. Yeah. So let's go back into like say like early '90s. Let's start with Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers.
Sorry, that was my phone.
fucking travesty. That was Mario Brothers.
What was the late? What was that man that passed away who played Mario? I forgot his name.
I don't remember.
But
I don't even care. The movie was terrible.
But anyways, he didn't even know it was based off a video game.
He didn't?
No, his nephew told him, like, oh, you're going to play Mario and Bros. Like, you know about the project? Like, yeah, like, yeah. He's like, is it the video game? He's like, what?
The thing that worries me is the fact that time and again, every movie that's been inspired by a video game has been awful. Has been just god-awful. And fans are still getting excited when they announce one. BioShock, World of Warcraft, Assassin's Creed. These are things that we may be seeing on the horizon come out in movie form, and I can't think of one that I would, even if done well, want to watch as a movie.
I remember reading about when Resident Evil 2 came out, the video game, and I remember when I was reading into like Game Pro. That's what I was reading. Fucking Game Pro. I still have the issue.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you guys fucking remember that shit. They were talking about Resident Evil 2, the video game, and it's like, well, they were thinking about in Hollywood making Resident Evil into a movie. And they were thinking about grabbing George A. Romero to direct a Resident Evil movie, the awesome zombie man himself. Like, that would be fucking actually a match made in heaven. Of course, he backed down, and so, what's his face? The guy who directed Mortal Kombat. What was his goddamn name? Oh my god. I have a couple of his movies. Believe it or not. It doesn't matter. But anyways, he stepped in. Resident Evil was fine. I didn't really like it very much. I mean, there was like, oh, there's the liquor. Okay, there's some zombies. Well, and the zombie effects I thought were utter shit. And I think Shaun of the Dead came out during that same time. And I thought the zombie effects were better in Shaun of the Dead than there was in fucking Resident Evil.
Well, there are hardcore fans for the Resident Evil movies, but I have a friend that's a hardcore fan of the Resident Evil movies.
Okay.
He never played any of the games.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You know what? That reminds me of a story about my girlfriend when she watched Doom. She's like, I thought it was a decent movie. Have you played Doom? Well, no. Have you played Doom 3?
Played what?
She's heard of Doom. She never played Doom 3, which was funny enough because on the DVD she bought had a demo of Doom 3 that you can put in your Xbox and play. And we played. She's like, this is nothing like the game movie. And I'm like, I know.
Okay.
She automatically was like taken back, like, all right, I'm sorry.
The one I forget most often, Tomb Raider.
Fucking Tomb Raider. You know what? That was playing at work the other day.
It wasn't. See, the only reason I think I liked that movie was because I was a fucking horny teenager and Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft. Tits. Yeah.
You know, believe it or not, she actually wasn't too bad as Lara Croft.
Well, she was believable because Lara Croft is like so psychologically damaged and cold and scary. It's unreal. Yeah. But
giant tits with
killing Bengal tigers, endangered animals, and
it was like a very, very crappy version of National Treasure.
It was. I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie, but it was.
I tell you what, I was just saying that I know I own both these movies and I've watched them numerous times. I do not remember any of the storyline or the plot or what happened.
I remember there's a shower scene.
There was a shower scene. And I remember they were hang gliding for like a second.
And then she was doing like
that might have been on the second movie.
She was doing yoga. What do you call it when you're doing yoga on ribbons?
I don't fucking know.
Whatever.
Or I remember the opening scene where she was fighting a robot. She had like the stupid like reload clips in the back of her butt or something. I don't know. Butt clips.
I think I remember that. Wasn't her butler?
Well, like she shot down like the rock. She's like, I'm like, how the fuck does that work?
Wasn't there a butler, but he was like a young guy versus the butler from Tomb Raider, who's like ancient and like the basics.
One of the butlers was from Red Dwarf, wasn't he? No, I think it was something else.
Yeah, but he in the games he's a reskinned mummy and he just follows you around with a tray.
That's right. Yeah. Fucking.
Anyways, they're always so detached from the source material, which is
they really are. It's really hard. With an interview with Uwe Boll, I was reading about because if you're very familiar with Uwe Boll, he is like the king of video game franchises that he just buys, like such as in Blood Rain, Far Cry, Alone in the Dark, House of the Dead. He basically said it's really hard to transport, what the video game is into cinema. I'm like, I don't think it really is hard just because you already have a storyline and you have the characters. Just fucking go the shots. Like, I've dabbled in video games and in movies. I'm like, I don't see how this could be a fucking problem unless you just don't understand video games too much. I know Uwe Boll plays a lot of video games. Like, the one video game that he played a lot of that he admitted was Postal. He loved Postal, especially Postal 2. And I love Postal 2. That's a fun game. He also directed and helped screenwrite the Postal movie.
There's a Postal movie?
Oh my god, yes. I own this as well. I'll lend this to you.
That can't be any good.
I have every Uwe Boll film.
Oh my god.
I know. He's like the next Ed Wood to me. I'm sorry. And believe it or not, one of his stronger movies was was Postal, because he really didn't give a fuck about it, because he really hated his fans at this point. He really did. And he actually put himself inside the movie, and he's like, fuck you fans, you don't know anything. And he's just ranting on, and he's like shooting people, like, wow. And I kind of enjoy this movie because it was just about being fucking Postal. Nothing made sense. It was all fucking batshit crazy. I'm like, this is probably Uwe Boll's best work right here. And then they actually did Rampage right after that, which is very similar to that. This guy going fucking nuts, killing people. I'm like, Uwe Boll, I think you got your little niche here. Just fucking kill people.
Yeah, just stay here.
So,
stay here away from people.
Postal was actually not too bad. I mean, what is Postal about, really? Just going crazy and shooting people.
I can't tell you what it's about. I played like 10 minutes of it and got bored.
It doesn't matter. It really fucking... I
peed on a few people and I was
there
done.
You go. It's Postal. And they kind of... He tried to go on a little bit of like, David Zuckerman brothers.
Zuckerberg?
The Zuckerman brothers from like Naked Gun and stuff. Kind of like the slapstick humor.
Yeah.
But when you're German, you really don't understand slapstick very much.
See, what I'm thinking, do you remember when Miyamoto was really big on Pikmin for that short time when Pikmin 3 came out?
Yeah.
And he was pushing his animated movies?
Yes, that's right. He wished, we talked about earlier, where he felt like he wished he did HD a lot earlier.
Now, what I'm thinking is the only company that has any business making movie tie-ins is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say that because the games would transfer so easily to Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
You give any Nintendo franchise to Pixar, you have got a pretty excellent movie on your hands.
Well, you got some definitely colorful characters, and they don't even have to speak.
Because the stories are not that in depth. They're really easy, good versus evil.
Yeah,
like 90% of the time.
It's all acknowledged within the first 10 minutes. You understand the goals, and you go.
The story itself is interchangeable. You play one Mario, you can pretty much figure out every Mario after that. Same thing with Zelda. The comedy in there pretty much writes itself. The Cuckoos will attack you if you smack them around, stuff like that. And it would just be so easy. So easy, It's almost like how Lego does the opposite, where it makes the video game, the movie tie-in video game with Lego Harry Potter, Lego Star Wars, and everything like that. And they just do their silly little Lego slapstick, and it works.
I like their Lego City is actually one of my favorite games on the Lego series.
And the Lego City was just a really long Shawshank Redemption reference. But I'm thinking, you take a game like Splatoon, you give it to Pixar. The story of Splatoon is really simple. The big electric eel got stolen by evil octopus people. It would give it to Pixar, and you'd have an entire movie, or Pixar or DreamWorks, and it would work.
Yeah.
But instead, you've got all of the big titles making a shit ton of money, and they're trying to milk it just a little bit more. Like
they're quick cash cows. I mean, even Uwe Boll, he's with Blood Rain. Blood Rain was filmed in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Everybody was rushed. Everybody was running around. Even like Alone in the Dark, there were shots in there that weren't even cut properly. You can see people walking around in the background with a boom mic. It's really embarrassing. He's like, I don't fucking care. And he says it may not sell very well in America, but overseas, he's like fucking gold king, because they got a lot of crappier movies over there apparently. But
when you have Assassin's Creed, would you want to watch an Assassin's Creed movie?
I'm not a big Assassin's Creed fan. I know my brother is.
I am. I love the Assassin's Creed series.
If you talk to me about BioShock, I was kind of on the fence about this. I remember seeing the concept art, and I was like, I don't know yet.
World of Warcraft.
Is that coming out still yet?
They keep talking about it. I don't know if it's ever come out.
I'm sure they filmed a lot of shit so far. I don't even know if anything's working.
That or Halo, these are stories that are fucking huge.
Yeah.
You can't fit that into 90 minutes.
Yeah.
If you do, you cut everything out. There's no detail. There's no characterization. There's no character development. There's only... It's like, okay, it is doing the same thing as M. Night Shyamalan
Someone ding dong.
did with Avatar.
Oh my fucking god, with Avatar.
Thank you.
I broke a chair at the theater, man. You don't understand.
I remember you telling me that.
Fucking rage.
It took an entire season of Avatar.
I know, and just
Gutted it. It gutted it.
well, not only gutted it made everything just so fucking
cheap and awful, and the characters were unrelatable.
No, the characters were even right.
I'm not even going to talk about how
we
they're
can't talk about
whitewashed.
this. We can't. No, we can't talk about this. This is
I'm
not
just
a
going to
video game.
say,
Sorry.
when you do something like that, a story that's that in depth, that you control the character, you become the character, you can't then take a step back. And I mean, you can watch someone play a video game about a story, but can you imagine? Because Kelly likes watching you play Uncharted, right?
Oh, she loves it. Yeah.
Can you imagine watching the Uncharted movie? It's a national treasure.
I know that's and that was kind of a thing too when they were actually talking about a national treasure. But also, I was a part of the I was really part for the director who directed The Illusionist. I love him, and Limitless. And he was gonna.
Limitless was pretty good.
yeah, and he was gonna attach to Uncharted. I'm like, fuck yeah, this guy can do it. I really think he can. And what was it, even with Halo, Neil Blomkamp, he was going to direct Halo, and I'm like, I love this guy. This guy is fucking awesome. He directed Elysium. He directed District 9. This man started off with digital design with 3D animation. He really wanted to focus on like getting CG to look perfectly with the atmosphere around him, and he did a lot of military work too as well. So this man was like completely merged with Halo with Peter Jackson. Like this could really work, but of course, the Microsoft at the time could not develop some sort of compromise because they wanted all the money, and Universal or whatever have you wanted they didn't know how to play ball. That's what it came down to. So everything just kind of crapped out, and apparently there's still a warehouse studio filled with props, warthogs, everything, all fucking ready to go, but it's going to be sitting there for quite some time, so it's never going to work out.
I'm okay with it. It's the more video game movies we keep out of the theaters, the happier I am.
I actually kind of want Halo. I'm sorry. If it was still with Neil Blomkamp, I'm okay with it. Anything else, I don't give a fuck. I don't want it.
It just wouldn't be good. I just automatically know it wouldn't be good.
But I feel like these
it doesn't matter who directs it. It doesn't matter because they cut too much out. They cut too much out because the story alone. Especially for
I know exactly what you're talking about because Avatar is a good example, but I also think like M. Night is a horrible example because I hate it's M. Night, dude. Come on,
M. Night's done some good things.
Like what?
Sixth Sense,
his first one.
I hate that movie.
All right. Besides his first two movies, list me some other ones.
The Village, crap.
I'm sorry. Dude, Signs.
The
Happening, motherfucker.
I've only seen.
Then don't tell me you fucking know this shit.
I'm not saying I know this shit. I'm saying that the director doesn't matter. A video game movie will never be any good because you cut too much out.
I think the director does matter a lot of the time too because look at fucking J.J. Abrams. Like I fucking love the new Star Trek, and he's attached to new Star Wars. I'm saying fucking psyched for this shit.
Saying the director can't make it worse. It can't, because a video game movie will never be any good, ever, because you cut out everything. You cut out any attachment you have to the characters.
You know what I think I have? I have Sonic hopes and dreams for video game movies because everybody wants Sonic games to be good, but they're never going to be good, and everybody's just high on that. We're like, there's got to be one good fucking Sonic game.
Sonic TV show, it's already out.
I know.
What was it? Ratchet and Clank were supposed to be coming to a movie?
Yeah, I think they're still fucking working on that.
But at least, I think it's
3D animated.
That's the right idea.
That's a good premise, right there.
That's the first step in the right direction.
Yes.
You have to stop doing live action video game movies because it doesn't work. There's too much basis on the special effects, and it's just stupid.
I know, that's what with Mario Brothers, I sat down and I thought about, how do you make a fucking Mario Brothers movie without using cartoon CG? I'm like, you got to use a different portal, whatever. I'm like, the way they went about it, it was probably the most logical way at the time when it was being filmed, the best way they could do it, because that movie had a lot of problems in general. But let's talk about another movie besides Mario Brothers. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat.
Let's not.
Let's talk about Mortal Kombat.
Let's talk about Shaq Fu.
That was gonna be wasn't that gonna be a movie at one point?
I think so. I put them on the same level. The Mortal Kombat movie and Shaq Fu.
When I was a kid, I fucking love the Mortal Kombat movie. Like, when I was a kid. I really did. And watching it now, the CG hasn't really aged at all. It looks really campy. The characters are so stupid. Goro looks like a constipated animatronic with foam on his face. But it's more of a nostalgic thing to what I watch again. No, but Mortal Kombat Annihilation, that's probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It makes me want to cut myself.
Well, I wait for the future where we have more video game movies, because now that gaming is becoming more of a mainstream pastime, I think we're just going to see more whoring out of our favorite franchises.
Probably. And you know what? Whatever.
Not whatever. It makes me sad. Every time it hurts a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Because these are stories that I fucking love.
Sure.
And when I see them bastardized for $1...
I'm going to come to you with a decent movie here.
All right.
Advent Children.
No.
Really?
Advent Children was not a decent movie.
Was it?
It would have been a fantastic video game. But it was too rushed. You had characters introduced that were never... You have no idea where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
You could not build any attachment to them. The entire movie was based too much on the action scenes than the story.
Okay.
And the ending sucked.
See, I'm holding off on watching Advent Children until I finish Final Fantasy VII.
When you do, gauge the two next to each other. Look at Final Fantasy... Advent Children is closer to Dirge Cerberus.
Okay.
Or what was this PSP one?
Oh, Crisis Core. The one I fucking played.
Closer to those than it was to the original. Because it was just... That's why I'm a little worried about Final Fantasy VII, because they... Squaresoft, Square Enix, no longer knows how to do subtlety. They no longer know how to keep things low key, and there's no ambiance, there's no feeling, there's no heart or soul in these stories. It's just about the spectacle, and that's all Advent Children was.
Okay. I have it sitting on DVD and the game just sitting in my library now that I need to finish, so I need to finish both of those.
The Final Fantasy VII had a story where you really cared about the characters. You feel them grow. You watch them go through these events in their lives, and they change, and it's just an entire immense storyline that cannot be taken to film. Mm-hmm. And then you take a sequel to it where it's basically better. I mean, honestly, it was like one of those stupid 3D rides at Universal. It was essentially the same fucking thing. A 30-second, well, here are some of your favorite characters from the show, you blah, blah, blah. Well, there's the big bad guy. You remember him, right? And the end.
Nintendo's doing that.
Well, yeah. Nintendo always does that.
Well, Nintendo's doing it with the theme park rides now.
Yeah. I'm not talking about that.
Okay, fine. But...
Well, you ready to move on?
I'm trying to think of anything other video games or movies that were franchised that came out.
Well, I'm thinking instead of our original second topic, we talk about movie tie-in video games.
Movie tie-in video? Okay, sure. We'll do the reversed way.
All right. First, our...
Are we going to call them shovel titles?
Yeah. First, sandwich segment right here, Jerry. Start us off.
Hello, Gary.
Oh my god, you did it this time without wondering what the fuck I was talking about.
Well, I don't fucking know what you're talking about. Ever.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary. We're all going to get very close to the mic and say hi, Gary. Oh, let me get the kitty. Gary likes
Kitty's sleeping.
Kitty loves...
All right, now we talk about...
Kitties.
Shovel titles. Essentially, it's a shovel. No, because it's not every GoldenEye. There you go.
GoldenEye was and still is one of the best games I still play. I still fucking play GoldenEye.
Everybody, I've been reading those fucking stupid Yahoo gaming articles where it's like, games that didn't hold up. GoldenEye is always number one, and I want to slap those people.
With my slappers.
With my slapping hands. Every Bond game has been excellent.
I like a lot of James Bond games, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I have a lot. I think I have a lot.
Every Bond game that's based off a movie. We're not talking about GoldenEye, Reloaded.
What about Agent
Under Fire?
Agent Under Fire was not based off a movie, but it was still really sweet
Nightfire,
game.
Excellent.
I also liked Nightfire. Yeah, that was cool. From Russia with Love was based off the original movie. That was okay.
Now there have been easily good...
Tomorrow Never Dies was fucking awful. I'm sorry. that was
I didn't play that one.
PlayStation 1.
There have been good video games based on movies. For some reason, they can't do it the other way around, but if you're basing a video game off a movie, you got something to work with, except for Spy Hunter. We're not going to talk about that.
Spy Hunter, that's a weird, actually a little bit. There was Spy Hunter. And then there was Spy Hunter 2, and then they came out with Spider Hunter like Nowhere to Run, which was starring The Rock. And that was actually supposed to be a movie first, but they couldn't finish the filming development, so the game was still in development, so they just released the game, but not the movie.
Now, here's the thing. The funny thing is, the video games, the movies that become video games that are directed at kids, the audience that you should be aiming for are always the one that suck. They're always the garbage party games.
Like Harry Potter. Rio! Remember?
Rio.
Oh my god, fucking Rio. That was garbage.
All the weird DreamWorks games. Do you remember that weird Shrek game we saw?
Oh my god, the
Shrek
Shrek game.
Shrek Hide and Seek or something?
We got like 20 of those in the store. That was fucking weird.
The three blind mice have stolen Shrek's picnic. And we're like, what the fuck
is going on? Jesus.
That's always a market that suffers. But then the movies that, like, the stuff that's geared towards adults seems to do a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, well, what's a good example? Let's say...
Lord of the Rings games.
Those weren't too bad.
Those were pretty good.
I actually played some of those. Those weren't too bad at all.
Yeah, the only one that wasn't great was Fellowship of the Ring, but that was because it wasn't based on the movie. It was based on the book.
That's true. And it was,
that's
when EA took over, and they were...
Two Towers and Return of the King were excellent hack and slash games.
Mm-hmm.
Co-op. They were great.
Yeah. Well, great. But they were decent.
Can you play them?
I don't have them anymore, but we can get them.
Okay.
They're pretty good. But the Lego games...
That's
the only situation in which movie games don't suffer is the Lego games.
Well, they have a good formula, and all they do is kind of swap the skins. That's all they do.
I'm still fine with that.
It's okay. They have a good system. I'm not going to complain about it.
Do you remember when the Disney games used to be like where to go? Disney games were back when they were it was only Capcom, Aladdin,
Rescue Rangers. They had.
I'm talking movies though.
Movies,
Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck. We're talking Aladdin. Lion King.
Oh my god, I loved Aladdin for Super Nintendo. I know you like the Sega Genesis one more. I think.
No, I had Game Gear. I had the Sega Game Gear.
The Super Nintendo one was for me. That was a cat. I love the music. I love it was a very short and sweet game. You can probably beat in one day, and you just go right back and play it again. It was so good. I loved it.
I mean, they used to be where to go because that was where all the good game ideas came from. Remember the Power Rangers movie video game?
Oh, it was a beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, it was great.
It was good.
Yeah,
I liked it. No, there was that was a fucking sweet one.
And that was because games were essentially made for kids back then.
Yeah,
and now the games made for kids are just
hardened
shovel crap.
Really fucking like some of the SpongeBob games are okay, but I noticed like my nephews when he's playing get like so fucking frustrated over it and just want for the controller.
It's mainly just, movie tie-in games are mainly just shovel titles when they're made for kids.
Oh yeah, they have like a matter of time, and they have to throw it out the door. And...
I mean, yeah, but the crappy DreamWorks games, like we already said Rio, but remember what was it, the Caveman one?
Oh, the Caveman one.
It was just another party game.
Oh, the Croods, right?
Yeah, it was like the same game over and over again, but they kept like swapping out the characters.
Yeah, it was just reskinning it. They looked like they had like 2 months in their character designs, and they had the automatically build of what this game mechanic does, and they reskinned it and shoved it out the door. It was a quick buck. Essentially what that is. Star Wars games suffered for a while.
When?
Clone Wars. You ever play that one?
Isn't the Clone Wars? I suppose it was a movie first, wasn't it?
Episode 3 was... Episode 1 for PlayStation 1. Did you play that one?
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Did you like that one? Have you played it again recently?
No, but I mean, no game. But what about...
Well, don't bring back GoldenEye then.
What about Shadows of the Empire?
I like that one.
It's a good game. The only part that's awful was the jetpack part through Tatooine.
The fucking sewers.
With the ledges being god awful.
The sewers, I fucking hated the sewers.
Oh, that was terrible too.
That was fucking awful.
The entire game is terrible, but it's also excellent at the same time. I don't know why.
I like the first couple levels. They're really good.
Yeah,
like the space shooters, whatever.
Yeah, but that game, I mean, Hoth is excellent.
Hoth is
Wampa Stampa.
Yeah.
Wampa Stampa.
Wampa Stampa.
But, I mean...
It's a good another...
It's just... It's weird to me that... these work one way but not the other, you know?
I just remembered I bought Star Trek for PS3.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that one.
That actually was not based off the movie. That was based off the characters from the movie in a different storyline.
Yeah.
And it was still broken and glitchy, and it was hilarious to me, and I loved it.
I'm going to say that's part of the movie thing.
Yeah, it was
even though
movie
Abrams
universe.
didn't have it, but... LucasArts, I guess, was suffering for a while with some of the shit they were coming out with.
I mean, like, the Star Wars Battlefront games were always good, but, there was just kind of like, mini games that based off multiplayer maps of famous locations.
I suppose it's because you have a game Because the good movie tie-in games, Spider-Man 2,
I love Spider-Man 2. Remember we just kind of fucking web sling out that
because they don't follow this. I mean, the movies never follow the game exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The games never follow the movie exactly, but it's not because they're not following the exact story, because if they did, the game would be 2 hours long and I would have wanted. Yeah. They fill in the room with a whole bunch of extra stuff.
Yeah, and you get to fight other villains, which I really liked in Spider-Man 2. Like,
Spider-Man 2 was probably, if I'm going to say a movie video game, Spider-Man 2 is going to be the best, because it was excellent. It had the fantastic controls, it had just about everything you.
Well, they got the opener. Like, you know what I just love doing? Just like walking, like web slinging around the city, going up to the highest building, and then jumping off down again. And, like, I just did that for hours.
Now versus Spider-Man the movie, the game 1.
Oh, that was
fucking terrible.
That was a linear game. That wasn't open world or anything, which I kind of think actually, like, I'm not a very much open sandbox kind of person myself. And this is like one of the first sandbox games I really did like a lot more than compared to the linear style, like Arkham City versus Arkham Asylum. True. I like Arkham Asylum a lot more compared to City.
You're just wrong about that, though.
Well, that's just me.
We've discussed how you've been wrong about that
before. I just had the same conversation with my brother yesterday.
Did he tell you you're wrong, too? Because you're wrong.
He's told me to go back to it and saying ignore all the fetch quest bullshit and just go to the main storyline and just ignore all that crap.
The main storyline is excellent.
That's what he said to me. Just go back, ignore all the extra shit, do the main storyline. So that's what I'm going to do. What's a good movie? I played something fucking really good.
Was it Batman for NES?
I fucking love that game. Batman for NES. I almost bought that toy today, believe it or not. NECA did a Batman NES figure. It actually looks blue and purple.
Oh, that sounds pretty awesome.
It is really cool. It was like $25-$30. I'm like, and I was already getting RoboCop and from the NES version, which of course you just saw I posted on my Facebook because I really had rocket launcher. He was on fire and he looked really cool. So I got him first.
You want to go through a few worst case scenarios here? Talk about a few series that we want to see keep out of theaters but might actually happen someday.
All right.
I'm going to say Halo. Well, not Halo. I'm going to say Half-Life. Number 1, Half-Life.
People have been... No. J.J. Abrams still wants to do Portal movie.
Ooh.
With Valve.
It'd be bad.
I have faith in J.J.
Could you watch someone play Portal?
Yeah, I have. I have downloaded the speed run and I watch it when I'm bored.
but Half-Life the movie, can you imagine that?
How about give me fucking Half-Life 3 first and we'll talk.
Oh, okay, Star Fox the movie.
DreamWorks could do it.
DreamWorks could do it. Pixar. DreamWorks could do it.
DreamWorks can do it.
Because Crystal's giant breasts would be weird for Pixar.
Slippy would be a girl at that point. I didn't know Slippy was a boy. I didn't know that. I thought she was a girl.
I've always kind of wanted to watch the Animal Crossing anime. I still haven't watched that yet.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. No, that's a really good one. No, I watched the Japanese. There were subtitles on it, but they actually go in, like, your whole Animal Crossing, like, oh my god. Like, you actually watch them, like, oh my god, Animal Crossing had a story.
Was it subtitled?
It was subtitled. I might have it around similar. You can probably just watch it on YouTube. But no, that was actually a good one. Because it starts off the game just like the anime. I'm like, this is a good representation of how I played Animal Crossing into an anime. And it was awesome. Watch it. That was a really good one.
So, for some reason, again, it's all about length. The shows that are taking place after video games, the shows and cartoons and stuff like that, are always better. I mean, do you remember the Donkey Kong cartoon? Wasn't great.
Oh, the 3D animated one?
Watchable.
I might have
Do you remember the Sonic cartoons?
Yeah, Chili Dogs.
Well, that was because it was based off the Sonic comic book, which
I have a couple later on still.
Loosely based off of the video game.
Everything was just kind of flown around.
See, a lot of times, too, is sometimes I have no idea. I have no idea how to fix video games as movies. I don't think there is a fix, and I wish they'd just stop. I have no fix for them.
It's a quick cash cow, and they don't take into consideration. They just want to shovel it out the door.
Even if they do, I don't think there's a fix, because you just can't have the same experience and have the same enjoyment.
Aliens cloning Marines?
The movie? You see the alien, he's just like hopscotching around. This is a terrible movie. Well... Yeah, well, we can cut it on this topic. I think we've said pretty much everything there is to say.
I'm trying to think of any other movies that were better in video game form. There's got to be some more. Like I had a couple.
All of them? All of them, Jerry. That's all you need to say.
The movies. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't know what
you're talking about. There were actually some video games and that were represented from the movies that are actually played better than the actual movie.
And the actual movie itself?
Yeah.
I don't know, Ghostbusters, you like that one.
Oh my god, I love... Well, that's based on...
Ghostbusters for Genesis was pretty awesome.
That was pretty good, but a lot of them were really shit.
Yeah.
Like NES and...
You're trying to find a game that was better than the original material?
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
There's gotta be one else. I know I had one or two in my library.
Spider-Man 2, I'm going to say. That's probably the best
Spider-Man
idea
2?
I can think of.
Give me a second here. I'm gonna think about it.
You're kind of worrying me here, Jer.
I got it. You know what? I'll say it next week. I'll find it, I'll look it up, and I will fucking tell you guys next week.
Alright, Jared. Do you got a fuck you for this week?
Fuck you? It's a good fuck you for this week. You know what? I don't have a good fuck you, but I do have, like, I went to this toy store the other day.
No. You can't do a random encounter yet. We're talking fuck
Okay,
yous.
fine. Fuck you. Okay, fuck. Okay, I have a fuck you.
Okay, there you go. If it's Destiny, I'm kicking you in the nuts.
I know.
Fuck you, Jerry, for saying Destiny 2 weeks in a row.
It's really not... I guess it's going back on the distributor. Like, every time, because Nintendo's releasing these new toys. And they're little, like, micro toys, like, you know, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and Olimar. Yeah. Like, I got Olimar. Olimar looked really cool. But here's the thing. It's been a half a year now, and all I've seen is Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. And apparently there's other ones too. Like, I know they're supposed to be making a Samus. I fucking want Samus. And like, there's other ones. I'm like, I would make all your fucking...
collect amiibos, you big baby.
I have the amiibos already, but I like the little toys too. I'm like, I fucking like toys.
You want more merch?
I love toys. A lot. And, I don't know, I want more toys of Samus. And I went to another store.
I bet you do, you freak.
She's cool, man. I love sci-fi, and when Nintendo does sci-fi, I'm like, I'm totally fucking on board because I love both those things. And Metroid is that for me, and the music in Metroid, any of the Metroid games, I love the fucking music. It gets me every time. That's my fucking area.
We're
right
just
there.
veering the fuck off topic here.
Anyways, but the fuck you part about it is, like,
fuck you, Jerry,
I want more fucking merch, man. Like, I went to an anime shop, and they had one character of Samus, and it was really sweet. Fucking $70. I'm like, I can't, god damn it. And then Nintendo's like, well, we know we're gonna make more fucking toys. But I'm like, where the fuck is it? It's been months. Where is it? I want it. I want it affordable so I can actually afford it and still pay my rent. That's what I want.
Alright, my fuck you is going to Warner Brothers Games for Arkham Knight finally getting a patch, and it's still, the textures are still fucked up. This game has been out for months on consoles. Your port is terrible. You need to start... I mean, Steam started refunding people. You need to refund everybody else.
That's really shitty.
It's done. It's just stop. I mean, they've stopped selling it, but the people that have it, they need refunds. They let them keep the game and give them a refund because this is garbage.
They can't even play their game.
They can play it, but it's not as good as the consoles. And they pay the same amount on machines that should be able to run this game. And this is all on Warner Brothers.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, going on, now you can do your random encounter.
Random encounter.
We're gonna totally wipe over you with the actual song.
That's fine. You can keep that note.
Whatever.
I totally forgot what I was going to say about my random encounter now. So you go first.
My random encounter is a free to play Flash game I found on AdultSwim.com. If you've listened to the show before, you know I like the Adult Swim games because they're actually really well made. This one is called Pause Ahead. It's an excellent platformer with a strange mechanic that I haven't seen before, in which after you press the pause button, your character continues to move like it's glitched. The game itself gives a really creepypasta feel. The soundtrack is excellent, and the last boss battle is challenging. Fucking challenging.
Yeah, you showed me this, and I thought that was a really sweet design. I'm like, this is simple, and this is really cool.
It's another heavy indie game pixel design, which is really starting to get on my nerves, because it's just Scapegoat now. You can go, hey, look, give me all your nostalgia dollars, but the game is free.
Well, there's a lot of pixel editors out there. They can just kind of show them out now.
Yeah, well.
It makes it a lot easier.
Your random encounter, you said you found something at a game store?
Actually, it wasn't a game store. It was another little thrift shop I've been going to recently, where I've been finding a lot of cool toys.
Oh.
And
you're talking about your Ecto cooler.
Well, my Ecto one, but that doesn't matter about that. But no, they had a little bargain bin sitting on the side, which is filled with just a bunch of toys from like 80s, 90s. I found a Captain Planet toy, which I almost bought.
Captain Planet!
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like, comes for like $1 or so. I'm just digging through this shit. I found a lot of cool, like, old McDonald's toys from the 90s. And way fucking bottom barrel, I found a Luigi from Mario Brothers 3 McDonald's toy.
Oh, fuck you.
And I was like, oh my fucking God. And I put it on the desk and I wind it back and he's like, did a little wind up thing and it still works. I'm like, I'm buying this right fucking now. So I'm like, that was my random encounter. It was super awesome and it's on my desk right now. I love him. Next to my Mario Brothers 3 McDonald's toy with this little suction cup, with the raccoon toy.
I hate you.
Which I also found at another little store. I find these, it's special to me. I like it.
This is why you get the random encounters, because you do the hunt and you always come up with shit.
I love the hunt. I keep on telling you about this. And I guess the brick and mortar thing that we talked about last week, that's... Yeah. I guess I would miss that. It would be a little heartbreaking because I would just go on eBay and just click and buy, and it's not as fun. Fighting it into...
Well, what are you playing this week?
What am I playing this week?
What are you planning on playing?
Oh, actually, Halo Anniversary.
Ah, Halo Anniversary with...
The edition from the Xbox One. My buddy's coming over later, and he's going to bring... He bought an Xbox One, and I haven't bought one yet. I'm still on the fence. So he's going to show me it, and we're going to actually play some games on it. And with me and my buddy Matt, we've always done the co-op Halo thing, which is always fun for us. So we're going to go and play Halo 2 Anniversary, and we're going to check it out and see how it plays. Maybe play some online. Old school style.
Well, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 some more, but I'm going to do what I've been doing when I haven't been playing this week, and I've been reading The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. It's a Marvel comic. It's hilarious. It's cute. If you haven't seen it yet, Squirrel Girl has existed since, I think, the Silver Age comics of Marvel. She's always been like a parody character. Now she's got her own series, and it's worth a read. I think they have monthly issues. The Volume 1 just came out. That's the one I picked up. Mm-hmm. It kind of pricey. I've never been much of a comic book reader, but sure. This reminds me a lot of the webcomics I like to read. It makes me laugh.
That's good.
Anytime you have a superhero with squirrel abilities, that's all you need.
Yeah. I'll do another shout out real quick of what I'm going to be reading this week is Ready Player One. It is a novel, which I forgot the name of the author, but it's getting a little more attention as of recently, because where I work, I've been seeing a lot more copies of it. I get a lot of flow. And it just so happens I already had a copy of it for my Loot Crate a couple months back. I was received one. And it's it takes place in the year 2044, and everything kind of is like the whole augmented virtual reality kind of concept, so you kind of jack yourself in. But the creator of this place called Oasis, it's the new kind of like Matrix kind of style-esque. He's created a bunch of little Easter eggs around the virtual world, and there's little clues that you have to solve. And there's the ultimate prize at the end. And of course, these people, everybody's trying to hunt them down, and they will kill for it to gain control of Oasis. So it's kind of a really cool concept that's stolen from a lot of other ideas, and this is kind of like a Brian Lee O'Malley kind of idea too.
Right, sweet.
So the author kind of grabs a lot of inspiration from his childhood and nostalgia, and it throws into a novel. So right. I'm kind of looking excited to read it out this week, and I hope it's really good. I hear it's already becoming a movie they're thinking about already. So
everything's got to be a goddamn movie.
It sounds like another one of those blockbusters, easy go, but yeah. Maybe we'll see it go. Sometimes it goes into purgatory. Who knows? Either way, I still want to read it.
If you like what we're doing here at Nullspace, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Nullspace Gaming, and also our blog at nullspace.gaming.com. And be sure to show your support by making donations via the PayPal buttons. Every donation is appreciated. All right. Well, any last thoughts?
No, not really.
All right. Send us out.
Happy gaming, everyone. I'm going to eat my toes.
Don't eat your toes, damn it.